Hi everyone, this is David Ramsey, dramsey9 on Twitch, and I am a graduate student at the MIT Media Lab and a longtime resident of East Campus, the famous Hacker Dorm at MIT. Where I am right now, you can see all around me, all of my stuff. And over the next 2 months, I'm running an experiment on myself, which hopefully you've already heard about. So if you haven't, check out one of my other videos. But this video is really just to show you around briefly my space and to give you a little sense of what it's like to live in East Campus at MIT. So I've been a graduate RA here in East Campus for a little over 5 years. So I've spent a lot of time here. And as a graduate RA, we get a little bit bigger of an apartment. And this actually happens to be one of the largest apartments on MIT campus. I think maybe the largest for a student that's sort of in undergraduate housing. So it actually has 3 separate rooms, and I'm gonna quickly run you through all 3 of the rooms and just kind of show you around. So where we are right now is actually the first room. So I'm just gonna kind of hold you up and get out of the way. You can see it's a very substantial, large space. It's quite nice, and I have quite a lot going on because I'm a builder, I'm a maker, I'm a musician, and so I sort of have just accumulated all this stuff. So this first room is kind of divided into 3 sections. There's the first kind of like sitting area. We have a couple couches, a little bit of storage, some propaganda posters, because I'm a fan of that kind of art. We have a fake fireplace going on over here, a nice Martin guitar that I hold near and dear to my heart, and this little climbing wall that I built in the first month or 2 that I was here that has sort of become really just like a hanger for lights and various other things. So yeah, that's sort of the first little section when you come in. It's a very spacious seating area. As we go further into the space, we come to my workbench. So this is where I do all of my building and electronics. You can see we have the standard electronics parts. We have an oscilloscope over here, a power supply, a multimeter, a signal generator, and a solder dispenser with an air compressor kind of tucked under the bench. This is a fume hood that I sort of built myself. So you can see it sucks the air out back here, and it actually sends it out through this big window. So I don't breathe in anything that I don't want to be breathing. And back within the fume hood, you can see there's a little oven to bake boards, a mill, a soldering iron, and a heat gun. So we get all the basics for electronics over here, including some custom stuff that I've built to help me test boards. And then the last area in this main space is the music command center. I used to work at Bose. I'm really into music, and so you can see there's all sorts of cool audio gear that I've purchased and acquired over the years, including some custom stuff. So this is a custom routing interface that I've built just for this setup. There's some nice audio interfaces over there, and the SM7B for when we're sitting here. And then you might notice behind me is a 4x6 sound isolation vocal booth. So it's a little hard to see in there, but if I put a flashlight on, you can see I have a 50-watt combo in there, a Mesa Boogie combo. We have our Strat over here in the corner, and we have a nice blue microphone over there to record with. So whenever I really want to crank the volume up, I can just go into this little booth and nobody complains. So it's a really nice. Yeah, so those are the 3 kind of main areas in this big first room. You can see as I turn all the different spaces. The last sort of thing I'll mention is this nice 3D printer that I have over here as we head into the kitchen. So this is what the kitchen looks like. It is not a full kitchen, so I don't have an oven or a stove, but it gets the job done. We don't have a lot of time to cook as graduate students anyway, and honestly, that's not my skill. So I get by just fine with a coffee maker and a toaster oven. So that's the life I've been living for the last several years. It's worked out really well. And then the last space after we come out through the kitchen is the bedroom. And I'll just show you briefly. There's not that much of interest in here, but this is MIT life. This is MIT dorm life, and this is a very spacious, nice room just by itself. So we have the bed, we have my little fake fireplace, we got a nice other little workstation over here with a couple monitors, all the books. And one of the nicest things actually is this view. So I don't know how well you can see, but we get a straight shot to the Charles, and you can see Boston, the Boston city skyline back there. So that's, that's a pretty amazing view to have as a student. So yeah, that's basically what it's a quick tour of my apartment here in East Campus. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you find it interesting. I want to show you now a couple of the little projects that I have going on in this space. All right, guys, so now I'm in the seating area of my space, and I want to show you two projects that really change kind of the fabric of the living area that really exist over here in this sort of seated position. So the first of them I'm going to control with this little button interface over here, and you can see this is really about the ambiance in the space. So as you may have noticed, hitting that button started to turn off all the lights. It's gotten a little bit dark in here. And now the room's really going to start to transform. And one of the first things you'll notice, if you can hear it with this microphone that I'm wearing, is that there were crickets chirping, and those crickets are now gone. So I actually have synthetic cricket sounds that I pipe into the space almost all the time, and only when it's time for music making or concert playing do those crickets stop. And it actually really makes it feel like something important is happening. The life has sort of ceased, and everyone is really focused on what's going on. And the other thing is that you'll hear that there's this really dense reverb. And that is fake reverb that I've added to this space. So there's actually a microphone over here that sort of hangs out all the time, and a couple of speakers hidden to also add this layer of ambiance when I'm playing my instruments. And so you'll notice the space has slowly and gradually started to get more and more blue and purpley, which is a really nice vibe. I really get into my music playing when the space transforms like this. And the other thing is that fireplace that was once over here is now replaced with a jellyfish. So we have a lot of vibes going on in this space. And so the room can actually assume 3 different modes, and all of these features are controllable independently from here. So we can turn the reverb off. So you can hear now the reverb is gone. We can turn the crickets back on. And so now you can hear there's this pleasant little cricket sound going on in the background, and we can put it in a different mode. So we have the normal mode where we were before, a cozier mode that's a little bit more amber and less harsh lighting, and then the sort of music playing mode that I just showed you. So one of the other projects I have associated with this is this little button. So this is a circuit and a button that I've designed, and it's not armed right now, but this button goes into the guitar strap. And that allows this whole system to know when someone's picked up the guitar, and it will put the room in concert mode as long as they play the guitar. So instead of actually making a conscious choice to put the room in a different mode, it just viscerally rewards you whenever you pick up that instrument. So I pointed out earlier that I have this guitar in the space, my really nice Martin guitar that I love very dearly, and you can see that it's actually sitting over there on something that is not a typical guitar stand, and that's actually a Roomba. One of the Roomba, I think they're called Creates, and that allows this guitar to actually move around the space. So you can see here it comes. It's actually driving away from its little dock and taken off into the space. Go guitar, go. And so this project over here is really about allowing the guitar to assume different places in the room without me intervening and seeing how that changes my behavior. So, having the guitar nearby means I'm more likely to grab it and I'm more likely to play it. So these are 2 different projects that I have that are really designed to change the way I interact with that guitar and music making, to make me more likely to pick it up, and then when I do pick it up, to make it more viscerally engaging and to make me spend a lot more time actually playing the guitar. So I hope you enjoyed taking a look at these 2 projects. Please comment, subscribe, and continue to follow me to learn more about the work I'm doing and to learn how I actually built all of these different things. So I'm going to go in depth with each of these projects in a coming up video and explain how I made it so you can make something like it too.